This is Irontrader. It is Tuesday morning. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at crude oil, and natural gas. Then we're going to take a look here at the NQ, which is the futures there for the NASDAQ. And then we're going to look at some auto stocks here. Tesla, Race, both their earnings are today after they close. And then we'll take a look here at GM and Ford. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, not ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, first of all, here we got the old Bitcoin. Now you can see here, we've had this really nice run. Okay, so what we have here, we have a left shoulder, a head, and then the right shoulder here, and now we're gonna see if we can break on out here. Now we had this really nice double bottom situation here, and that was your buying opportunity. Okay, because what it is, it came all the way down here to 74,635, and then it retested it at 74,655. Okay, very nice with a higher low. And then she's been rallying up here ever since with a nice series of higher lows and higher highs, I should say. Okay, now yesterday, what did we do? We made a high of 88,785. And you notice I've been pointing out this price channel at that 89.20. That's going to be the key. That is basically just the top of that candle, and that's the breakout. Now, it's holding this 50-day up very nicely here. So yesterday's high again was 88,785. Today we had a high of 89.40. Okay, so where we went above that 89.20, but that's going to be very big time resistance right at the top of that candle. So what we need to do, it has to close above that 89.20. That's the key, is closing above, not just pop and drop. It's got to close above. But look how nice this is working itself up. Now, see this 8-day? Crossed over that 21-day. Oh, that's very nice. Okay, so that gives you a very good bullish sense. And even if it sells down, long as we hold that 8-day, that's the key. Okay, above that 8-day, it's sideways up. Below that 8-day, it's sideways to down situation. Now, here on the downside, first, what we're looking for is that 87.79, 079, I should say. That's that 50-day. It needs to hold that. And then what we do is we can come over to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 86.45. That'd be your next support level. And then we have 85.754. And then we'll be looking here for this 8-day at 84.884. It needs to hold that on the closing basis. And then right below that, we have that 84.493. Okay, so working very nicely. Now, on the upside here, this is it. This is everything right here at 89.20 on a closing basis. That's going to be very key. That's basically just the top of that candle right there, okay? Then what we can do is we can come all the way up here. You have 89.380 level. We come up top of here. You have 91.530. We come up here, 91.655. We'll come to the top of this candle here. This is 93.210. Now, but this is what we're looking for right here, is going to be that 100-day at sitting at 93.144. So if we break out and close above that price channel, this is the big target that we're looking for, is this 83.144. Then we have to see what the reaction is once it gets there. Does it blast through and start hitting all these price channels, or does it just hit that and then come right on down? Now, again, if it does, then see, this is why if we use the price channels, is bring it right across. Then your next target is going to be that 95.075. Okay, then we come on top of this candle, 96.625, and then bring that price channel right across. Okay, at 99.765, and then so far, just keep right on rolling. 100,765. These price channels make life very easy, because as it sells down on this side, it leaves the resistant levels back on this side. So it's very nice. Now, there's a lot of ways to trade this. Instead of price channel, you can use clouds, and you can use Bollinger Bands. I just think these are more accurate here. Simple reason, all they are just tops and bottoms of candles. Very simple. Now, RSI here, you're only sitting at 56. Plenty of room to run. And we had this nice positive divergence where we had this low, we had this low. We had an even lower low, but we had that higher low. See? Positive divergence, okay? And we had a nice double bottom. That tells you got to get in the trade. Okay, so green is over red, looking very nicely. Okay, so I'm long the IBIT. Now, again, if we can crack above this 89.20 and close above that, then I would add to the position, and I'd be looking for this 100-day simple moving average. Again, on the downside, just watch that 50-day. That's going to be very key. If it's lost, we go to the 8-day, and we go to the 21-day. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil. This is your daily chart. Okay, looking very nice. Now, you can see here we put this bottoming tail in here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. And then we had this consolidation, which we're basically still in that consolidation. Now, yesterday you noticed that it came down, went just a little bit below that 8-day, but what did it do? It closed back above. Today, so far, we have an inside day, which basically your high and your low is inside the high and low, but it's way early yet. We got to see how this shakes out. So upside here, what we're going to be watching is 63.56. Then we look at yesterday's high, 63.78. Then we're going to come to the top of this candle here at that 64.18 level. And then we're going to be looking at here for this 21 day. This is going to be very, very, very crucial, I should say. And if we can get above it, then we're all lined right up. 67.43, your 50-day, 69.71, 71.50. Then we have your price channel there at 72.28. So boom, 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 boom. Okay, all your levels right there, right in front of you. Now, again, this can still go sideways for a while. Okay, so remember the API report will be out today at 4:30, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get off of that. Now, on the downside here, we have this 62.15. That's going to be very, very crucial. That is your 8 simple moving average. If that is lost, we'll come right to yesterday's low, that 61.76 level. We'll come right down to here to the next level, 60.88. We have 60.44, and then we follow the candles down, 59.43 level, and we have 58.76, and it will come down here, 57.88, and your big retest at 55.12. But again, that's only if we lose this 8-day on a closing basis. Then what we do is we just follow the candle. But this candle is going to be very, very important, because you can see here how it held it here on the good support levels. Okay, see even how it popped up here. We're holding this level right here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. On the upside, I say just follow the candles up, but your big target is going to be that 21 SMA. Now, here we just got to an oversold condition, and now we're only sitting at 45. That's not overbought or oversold. That has plenty of room to run. Your green is trying to get over your red here. I think it's just a little bit over there. So what we have is this consolidation we're waiting to see. What's going to be the deal with the tariffs? Okay, what's going to be the deal when OPEC adds all this crude oil starting May 1st? Okay, all the voluntary cuts now are going to be all coming into play. So, but then again, on the other side of that, we have summer driving. We carry that into the summer, and then we carry that into hurricane season. Any kind of disruption, you know what I mean? If there's a war, escalation, anything like that, like in Iran, then crude oil will rise up. But right now, it's just a trade. Easy way to trade this, UCO for the long, SCO for the short. Easy peasy. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas. Now, I've been pointing out here what we had here. We had this nice double top situation, okay, 4.259. What do we have here? A retest. 4.253. Lower high, boom. Try to retest it here again with 4.20. Couldn't do it, and then boom, right off the map. Now, look how strong this 8-day is, okay? So we went right into it, and now we're just going lower here. Okay, so now, yesterday, we came down and we closed pretty much here at this 306 level, but now today we're sitting right below that, okay? So what we're looking for here is this 50-day to hold that 50-day here on a weekly chart. This is very, very key. This is that 3 level, okay? Now, again, if that's lost here, then we just follow this candles down. Next in line is going to be 283, and then we're going to come right here at that 273, which is your 100-day simple moving average, okay? Now, if we lose all that there, then we just follow the candles down, which you can come all the way down here to your 221 level here, all the way down to, your 187 level. But again, we have a lot of support here with the 50-day and the 100-day. So on the upside, now we're going to be fighting this. Now we have that 200-day, 3.06. Now remember, this is natural gas is in the shoulder season, so you're really not in play here on this. Okay, so I just scalped this, KOLD for the short, UNG there for the long, working out pretty good. But I don't hold the trade overnight. I just what I do is get in, get out, and then you're done with the deal on that, yes. But right now, there isn't really a whole lot here unless we can get back above this 306 area and head right for this 8 SMA here at that 3.28. But once you get below that, see how this is? You just got an absolute waterfall going on here. 21-day waterfall. There's just nothing bullish about this chart. We're going to need some kind of a catalyst, either extremely hot summer or some kind of an LNG, something like that here that's going to propel this forward. So you got to be a little bit patient with this. So what we're watching here today is watch that 50-day. That's that 3 flat. That's that 50-day simple moving average. If that's lost here, we have the 283, but we're looking really at that 2.74 level. Now, you look at the RSI here. We're not oversold here on a weekly at all, and we're just getting started here on the MACD. Now, we're getting to oversold conditions a little bit here. Okay, it's not quite yet, but we're getting into on the RSI here on your daily chart. And right here, your green is below your red. This has not curved yet. The little bars here have not curved yet either on the upside. So this could definitely go lower. So what we want to do is, yesterday we had that low of 299, but we closed back above it. But watch this 3 level here on the weekly. That's the key. Okay, let's take a look here now at the old NQ. Okay, here's the old NASDAQ futures. Now, I really like trading the NASDAQ because I think it's always in play, okay? Easy way to trade the NASDAQ is with TQQQ. It's a nice back, pays a small bit of dividend, but it's a sweet basket of everything. It has the Amazon, the Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, Google, Tesla in there. Everything is right on in there, okay? So this is a really, really nice basket for that, okay? So here's the old NQ. Now, you can see here, this 21-day was kind of holding up, and it went right into the 200-day, and it couldn't really do anything, and it sold right on off here. And look how strong that 21-day is, and sold right on off here. So now yesterday we had this red candle. So far today we have this inside day. So what we're looking for is today's high. You're looking at 18,171 here on the futures, and then we'll come to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 18,261, and then we'll come to top of yesterday's 18,383, and then we're going to be looking right here for that 8-day at 18,495. Okay, and then right above that is we have that 18,895 level. Okay, that's going to be very, very strong. So this is the futures here, but it lines up pretty much here. Right now, the futures are up 167. I think we have ourselves a nice turnaround Tuesday. We got to see how this all going to shake out here today. Okay, now on the downside here, what we're doing, we're always watching yesterday's low. That's the key, 17,700. That's where we closed at. That's as low as we got yesterday. Now your next level is going to be right here, 17,387 level, and then we just follow the candles down here. Okay, you're looking at 16,973, and then we'll come here at 16,735, and then the retest down here at 1640. Okay, but right now you can see here where we almost like we had this high, like a double top situation, and then it just fell off the map. We got a nice good relief rally, but it couldn't go much higher than what that 200-day is. And then now look at where it's selling down. But see what we have is a high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Not looking good. Okay, until we can reverse that, get above that 8-day and that 21-day, then the old NASDAQ can rally and maybe hit that 50-day. Now, again, a lot of earnings are coming up here. Okay, I mean, you got Meta, and Microsoft, and Apple. Netflix had really blowout numbers there. Them were really good. And you got Google. You got a lot of action coming on here. So let's just see if we can rise up if the earnings are good. Okay, let's take a look here now at the Tesla. Okay, Tesla. Okay, I showed you this yesterday, but again, today is because the earnings are here after the close. Now, I'm not really expecting much. However, Tesla always has a way of kind of surprising you, which basically, if they say one little thing, can reverse the stock very easily. Okay, so you can see here where the big support level is right here. It's going to be this 214.25 level. Okay, so when this was way up here and we had that big rally, okay, after T-Man got elected here, I always point out this gap and this fill, this gap and this fill down here. I said, now I'm not saying that's going to be happening today, but eventually they did get filled, and obviously it did. That bottom was 275. Okay, and that was a gap, and then 255, that was a fill, that's filled, okay? Then your next gap here was all the way down here at 238, and then your fill coming all the way up here at that 218, and obviously that is filled down here with that 214 level. It's all filled up nicely. Now, we're basically trading in this range, but you notice how strong that 200 SMA is here, and now what we have is we have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high situation, and now we're kind of sitting like in no man's land over here, okay? So what we want to watch on the downside is right here, is this 214.25 level. That's going to be very, very crucial, okay? So we're watching the bottom of this candle here, okay? So you're looking at is that that's that 212 level. That will be next, okay? 212 level. Then we can come down to the bottom of this candle here, looking at 202, and then we can come all the way down to the bottom here. That's at 182 level, okay? So this stock could fall pretty hard, okay? Let me just big this up a little bit here. So yeah, see, and you could come down here to this is that level I was showing you right here. That's that 182. But you could come down here. This is 167 level, and then we could come all the way down here. Okay, so this here is all the way down to 138. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go, okay, but I'm just saying if we start losing this here, this 214, it's going to be man out the window time. Okay, so upside here we have this gap. Okay, so what you want to watch today is that 232.21. There's your gap, and then we look to the bottom of this candle here at 237.68. Your gap and your fill. Okay, and then what we do is we'll be watching this 8-day 249.22, very very key level of resistance, and then we have 256.67. And then we're going to come up to this 50-day at 277.48 level. Okay, so right now this chart is nothing that great. Again, if it can hold this key level right here, this 214 level there, then we could probably get a bounce here, at least get up to that 8-day, that 21 day. But remember, last earnings, their sales are declining, the revenue is declining, and now with all the Doge, I don't know how this is all going to be working out, but we got to see. But a lot of times he does surprise. Remember, this isn't just a car company. It's also an AI company, self-driving, SpaceX, and God knows what he's got in there. You know what I'm saying? So we want to just trade this. So just watch that 214 on the bottom. That's going to be key. And then your big target on the top is 249, 256, and 277. Okay, let's take a look here now at race. Okay, here's race. This is Ferrari. This is one of my favorite trades here. Okay, so this has been a really, really good trader. Okay, so Ferrari, it doesn't seem like anything tariffs or anything. If you're buying a Ferrari, you really don't care what the price is. Okay, it's just that simple. Now we got all the way up here to this 509, and then we just sold right on off. Now you're holding that 390 on 91 level, but you can see how this 8-day. See how this 8-day is rolling up here? It crossed over the 21-day. And then it's just holding up here very nice. So as long as this 8-day, this is going to be key support level, okay? 431.92. Right below that is we have this 427 level, okay? That 21-day. That's going to be very key. Now, the earnings are going to be out here after the close, so we got to see how that's going to shake out. Now, obviously, if that's lost here, then we can start hitting these targets, 415 level. We'll come down here at the 413 level, and then we have 409, and then we come down here at that 402 level. And then we have a 397, and then you have your big retest down here at 391. Okay, but right now the 8-day curling up here doesn't look too bad, but we have a lot of resistance overhead. So your first target on the upside is 443. Okay, and then we have next is 448, and then we have 451. That is your 50-day. Okay, and then we have this retest. All it is just the tops of this candle right here at 455. So right now you have good support with the 8-day and the 21-day. But you have big time resistance with the 100-day, 200-day, and 50-day. So let's just see how this all going to shake out once the earnings get taken out after the end of the day. Now, when we look at the RSI here, well, you kind of meet them. That could go either way. Your green is over your red. That shows good momentum like we had. This is actually a really good stock, really good play as far as the trading. It's got big movement, and it runs here up very, very nicely on both sides, but you just got to know when to get in, get out. So for what you really want to watch is just watch that 8-day, that 21-day on the downside, that 100-day, 200-day, and that 50-day on the upside. Okay, let's take a look here now at GM. Okay, here we have GM. Now, there's really no interest in here in General Motors. I don't really see. I think the tariffs are going to affect them here. I think the prices are getting way out of control. When you start looking at $80,000, $100,000 for a truck, well, what is the end game here? I have nothing against unions. I was a union iron worker for decades there, so I'm not really nothing against the unions. It's just that I don't know how you pay somebody $140,000, and when you look at these plants here, you're barely getting 6 hours worth of work out of these people. So I don't know how you're going to keep doing it. You can't just keep tacking it onto the price. There's got to be some kind of a line drawn here. So they're going to have to come up with something kind of a situation. So just remember, when this thing went bankrupt, it IPO'd at $42. You're sitting at $44 here now. I don't see anything here. Now, electric car, I don't see anything there. Anyway, what we have here is we have this lower high situation. So we're looking right here at this 8-day, okay? 44.49, that's going to be key. We need to get above that. Then your next target right there is going to be that 46.33. And then we have your 50-day there sitting at 47.17 and then 49.04 level. And then we have your 100-day sitting right at 49.77. So you got a lot of resistance, 21-day, 50-day, 200-day, 100-day. You're going to need some kind of a huge catalyst to do something here with this. I really don't see it. Now, on the downside here, we can look here to yesterday's low. You're looking at 43.77. Then we come right on down 43.11. We have 42.62 and the big retest down there at 41.60. If we lose this, area here. You could come all the way down here to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 38.96, but there isn't really enough here to really to worry about. So I mean, if you, I would stay away from the GM. I would stick with the Tesla. If it gets hammered today, okay, that might be a good buying opportunity here to scalp it long. Okay, now remember, Tesla, you can also short that with TSLS, is also a very, very nice trade. Okay, let's take a look here now at Ford. Okay, here we have Ford. Now, this one here, I mean, for me, it just like, put the tag on the toe, close the drawer. I mean, this was a good buy. I remember buying this years ago. I think it was like what, at 121, $1.21, and I ran it all the way up there to $1.22 when he had that really good CEO, Malali. He comes from Boeing, and boy, I tell you what, down that guy know how to run a business. But this, what they got going here now, I don't see. This is like dead money kind of a situation. Okay, so what we have here is we have this 8-day. You're sitting at 9.45. That's going to be your key level of support. If that's lost here, we just follow it down 920, 904. We have 888, and then your big retest down here at 844 level. Your upside here, we're looking basically at that 959 level. That's your 50-day, and then we can look at your 21-day here at 968, and then we have 9.9, and then you're looking at this 1054 level here on your 200-day. I just wanted to show you this, that there really is nothing here. Okay. So if you're looking at getting forward here, but now when they had to do commercial, and they realistically, it takes 24 different countries here just to build an F-150. Okay, I own an F-150, I love it. Not another. It's an awesome truck. It's just that right now the prices, everything's escalating here. And like that Ford Lightning, I don't know who the hell's going to pay $100,000 for an electric car, and 3 years later it's worth 20 grand. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. So I think they fell for it, all that. They should have just stuck to the guns and make what they want to make, and make what sells, kind of a situation, instead of losing all them billions of dollars there. But right now, Ford here, if I just stay away from this, I don't see anything. This is basically change going up, change going down, kind of a situation. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here later today, and we'll take a look at Bitcoin, crude oil, and natural gas, and then we'll throw a pile of stocks in there, and throw the indexes in there. And now remember, keep your eye on the VIX here too. You're sitting around 3220. That's awful high. We want to get that back down in the 20s. Okay, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.